The internet rumor mill is spinning at full speed this week. Is this the end for Xbox consoles? Help us, Phil Spencer. You're our only hope.
And Disney has purchased a $1.5 billion, yes, it's billion-dollar stake in Epic Games. We're going to talk about what this might mean for Fortnite and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can check us out on YouTube, Fruit Lab, and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red, joined every week by this man right here, Full Clip. How are you, dude? What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, so I don't mean to transition directly into the next part, but to tell you how I'm feeling right now, I survived a mini heart attack just a little bit ago. So we put off filming the show so that we could get some time in for the Skull and Bones open beta. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I heavily focus my videos on that first interaction. So if something goes wrong, I can't really genuinely re-record a first reaction to something. Well,
Sure.
I'm an hour and a half in, and open betas are open betas. I get a blue screen of death. My OBS file is gone. It is, you know, I don't think you used to be able to repair those MP4 files, but what I found out, luckily, is that there is a little program out there called Untrunk now. I was able to use it. I was able to save that file, so I can still make that video and get it out there.
Oh, nice. Okay. So that leads us into what we've been playing. So, Skull and Bones. About an hour and a half, you said you played?
Yeah, I got to play a little bit.
I want to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this?
I see it having a lot of potential. It is not nearly as buggy and broken as I sort of thought it would be after so much, but it makes sense after how many delays.
Yeah.
How could you be so buggy and broken still? But
Sure.
you know, I was comparing it to Sea of Thieves, and the other one, the other big naval combat game is always Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and all the iterations where they've kind of redone the same mechanics in their other games. It's interesting. I enjoyed the little bit of naval battle that you get as your introduction to the game.
Sure.
And I would say that the biggest thing that's holding this back is I expected to be able to sort of get off the boat at certain places, like just jump off and explore a little island on foot.
Yeah.
And there's none of that, except for the very specific little areas where you're able to get off at a cove.
Yeah, it's surprisingly linear so far. I mean, early game anyways. I don't know. I'm also only about an hour and a half of playtime on it. And yeah, I was surprised at how it feels like it needs more work still. You know, I know they've been doing a lot. But things that, when I'm comparing it to other games, new next-gen games, there shouldn't be a loading screen for... This is my take. Going into literally everything. You talk to a character, there's a black screen, and then it pops in. And then getting on the boat, there's a loading screen. Getting off the boat, there's a little loading screen. And it's none of it is, even going to shoot a cannon, it's not, there's no seamless transitions anywhere in this game. And that annoyed me. The other thing I didn't like is your character, the creation. It's such a lifeless character. You pick from 4 things in this little reflection, and then you're this is a character. Now, granted, you can you could change what you look like later on, but I'm this is what my character looks like. It was terrible. I was disappointed in that. I'm a sucker for a good character creation thing. So those were things where I'm I get you couldn't give this game any more time. It's been a joke, that we've talked about many, many times, the delays and that sort of thing. But it does feel like it's a little, still it could have used a little bit more development, a little more gestation, just to make it a little bit more seamless, a little bit more, make it feel next gen. Because even I don't know, none of it is really blowing me away. And that's what I was hoping for. Just enough. Like, I knew it was going to have some jank here and there, but I thought there would be like one part of it where I'm like, this is really impressive. This is what's going to get me into the game. Now, granted, an hour and a half in, I haven't gotten a big ship or seen these big battles, and I'm sure that's where the game's going to get good. But I was bored enough early on where I don't know if I would even make it to that part. So I'm gonna play some more after we're done recording. I want to see what it's like once I get going. But again, it's very linear. It's so far it's all just you go get this and bring it back to me. Go get this and bring it back to me. And that's like the only missions, fetch quests.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
yeah, I have similar feelings to that, but I got kind of suckered in right away to that. I was wearing rags, and I wanted to look cool, so I wanted to go get more money, so I wanted to go on my ship and go find more loot floating in the water, and figured out a couple mechanics along the way. Didn't quite get to make it back to finish my outfit before the blue screen and crash, but it was I could see it being pretty cool like that. If you want to make your own goals, set what you're grinding for, as long as those goals, because, so early in, it's hard to tell, what does a ship cost? What does a large ship cost? What do some upgraded sails cost? And it seemed like there may have even been like a premium currency. There was some sort of gold emblem on top of the coolest of all the accessories and stuff like that. I don't know how that's going to work in. But yeah, also it is just open beta, and we don't know how old this version of the game is. So as far as the content that's in there, the outfits and everything, and character creation, they could have built a lot more on top of it already, and we'll just see at the full release.
Did you see, like, talking about like currency and stuff like that, did you see that there is like the battle pass or whatever, there are microtransactions in this game, and people were calling out like, why is this a $70 game, why do you have these, whatever? And the president CEO of Ubisoft said this is a quadruple A game, and I'm like, oh boy.
Don't know about that. If I were him, I would have just said, hey, look at every other $70 game that has microtransactions.
Exactly. Yeah, don't try to make this anything more than it is. But I want to play more. I haven't really played with a party, so I'm gonna probably do that tonight. Play with some friends and see how that goes. Because I'm shit at steering the boat, so if I don't have to steer the boat, maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more. I was like bumping into everything. I'm like, this is not good for the ship. So yeah, I don't know. It's right around the corner. Next week we'll be talking about the release of it. So we'll see. I would like to see, I'm interested to hear takes from across the industry. You been playing anything else?
That's pretty much it this week.
Oh, dude, I've been playing everything. It has been so it's the Steam Next Fest. We talked about it last week, and during that, all the demos for all these indie games are released. There's hundreds of demos on Steam right now, and I've played maybe 20 of them. And let me tell you some of my highlights. First of all, I think the one I've spent the most time with, there's a game called Balatro, and it is a poker deck building roguelike game where you have to have you put out a poker hand and you get points for it. Now, as you go, you collect jokers, which are multipliers. So instead of having a pair that's worth like 20 points, you get a 4x multiplier, and it's that you get more jokers as you go, if you whatever, and then you can upgrade certain cards too. So you could change your ace into like a metallic ace, so it has like a look on it, and that also has a multiplier, or you get more coins for that, or you could buy more aces, so then you have 5 aces in your deck. You could do 5 of a kind. So it's got all this stuff, and it plays a lot like just a regular roguelike deck builder, but like just with poker mechanics. And it is just the demo. I think I played it for 3 hours. I put into it, and it's like it's fun, it's addicting. Big fan of that one. Another one, I'm not going to get into all of them, but some of the hits, this game called Pepper Grinder. It's like a 2D side-scrolling game, but you have this giant drill, and the drill kind of like pulls you through the game. You're going underground, and it like flows out, and you like fly up in the air with it. That was real polished. That one felt like just a finished game, like ready to go. That one was great. there's a game called Harold Halibut, and it's entirely handcrafted, like stop motion claymation made, and it's about this like underwater ship. It's like a retro futuristic world, and all the actors are voiced in it, or all the characters are voiced by actors, and it's just like this weird. It's kind of got like Wes Anderson vibes. But that one is insane. That demo was like 50 gigs to download, just the demo. But it's all like this insane. It looks gorgeous. It's one of the craziest, best looking games I've seen. Just in that if you like stop motion, like claymation animation, it's really, really cool. So yeah, there's a ton. I just put out a TikTok of some other games that I played on during the Next Fest. So there's a bunch. There's some that like we've been talking about too. There was like, what was that mech game where you, like, it's a farming game with mechs?
I know what you're talking about. Don't know the title of it.
There's that one's out there. Pacific Drive. I didn't get a chance to play Pacific Drive because it wasn't working for the Steam Deck. Since then, I've seen there's a workaround, but I'm like, I'm just gonna get that game anyway, so I'll wait. I've been the buzz out of it from people that have played the demo. People expected to not like it or think it was okay, are coming away really enjoying the mechanics and the whole way that's played. So that's got me fired up for that too. So a lot of good games coming out in the near future. It's exciting time to be alive, baby, to be a gamer. All right, shall we get things moving along?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's talk about our new releases from last week. First up, Foam Stars came out on February 6th on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. This is a 4v4 shooter with foam. With lots of foam, baby. You just foam everything up. You spray everything down. You're just squirting foam all over. I can just keep doing this in case you don't get the idea yet. You're spraying it all over. But there's 8 different characters. Each one has different abilities, different ways to spray the foam. And then there's different game modes. It's kind of like, I would say it's like Overwatch meets Splatoon. The foam is used to traverse through the board. It'll speed, if it's your foam, it'll speed you up. If it's their foam, it'll slow you down. So you have to do that. You have to create defenses by spraying like walls of foam or paths to try to get to where you need to go. There's a lot of technique involved in it. Unfortunately, like when you play a game early on, technique doesn't really show up, because it's just everybody. All of us are just running out there trying to get people, because then you spray the people and it turns them into these balls, and then you ride your surfboard into them and you knock them out. Or if your person is turned into a ball, you ride your surfboard into them and it saves them. So I played it a bunch. I was enjoying it when I played day of. I was enjoying it, playing it and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I could see it dying off pretty quickly for me. If, like, for one, there's like, I don't care about any of the cosmetics. They're very meh. The battle pass that they have, I don't care about any of it. None of it really is interesting. It's all just real generic. The music in it is like, at first I was like, this is really getting me going, and now it's getting real annoying. So I might have to like shut that off. But it's fun at first, but it does have a point where I think it's gonna lose a player base. So yeah, those are my 2 cents.
What's out there on the PlayStation Plus service, isn't it? It is. So if you have that, it's free to play. So that's the thing with a hero-based game, is it, in order to want the cosmetics, you have to care about the heroes. And if they're just kind of generic, trying to be something like Overwatch, but not quite there, you're not going to have that kind of interest. But the fact that it is so, it's going to have a wide reach being on that service. Sure. So, maybe people will start to like their characters and start to put some money into it.
Yeah, you could hope. I mean, the player base is definitely, like you said, it's much bigger than it would have been had it not been a PlayStation Plus game, I'm sure. So that's definitely helping it, boosting it. So we'll see how it maintains, but it's fun. It's fun for a try. And it really is dependent on your team. I'm playing it by myself, and the game could be over in literally like a minute, or it'll go. And we've had some great back and forth games, and so it really is team dependent. So
yeah, this really is the time to get into it, because as time goes on, like you said, that technique is going to come out. People will figure out the meta.
People are going to be stomping. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
like Fortnite
for sure,
all over again.
Exactly. All right, the other game that came out this week, Helldivers 2, came out on February 8th on PC and PS5. This is a sequel to Helldivers, came out in 2015. That was a top-down look, same basic idea. It's 4-player teams, co-op, and you're just running around, you're killing like these giant bugs. But this one has a third-person perspective, so it looks a lot cooler, I think. The graphics are fantastic. This is one where, I've talked about it a couple times now. I'm not buying games until March, at least until March. This one, I almost bought it last night. I've been seeing a ton of people playing it, having fun. I've been watching some streams, and it looks like a blast, dude. It looks so much fun. But it is dependent on the people you can play with. So I talked to my buddies. I'm like, listen, if you want to play this, let's do it. And they're like, meh. So I was like, all right, I'm not playing it solo, because I did also read that playing it solo, it's much harder. There's a definite difficulty steepness. So, but like the premise is, like I said, you're just killing these bugs. You could call in these airdrops, so that makes it fun. Like when you're going to do an airdrop, you have to basically put in like a I don't know, like a up, down, left, right, like a code Street Fighter combo or something, like a Mortal Kombat fatality. So you put in this code, and then weapons or bombs or whatever, it gets dropped in your area for you to use. And then, again, the thing that makes it really enjoyable is that friendly fire is on, and it is funny to watch people like get just destroyed. Like, you put up a turret or something, if your friend's in front of it, they're going to get mowed down. But they come right back, and it looks like a blast.
Yeah, every time I see this, I mean, I know I said the same thing last time, but I've seen more and more, and like you said, streams and people playing it, it looks more and more like Starship Troopers, even in like theme, because apparently it's some over-the-top patriotism stuff, where Starship Troopers is just a satire of that. But yeah, gameplay-wise, I really like that idea, because now instead of like a lobby of 50 people, it's you and 3 other people, and hilarity is going to ensue when you accidentally drop an airstrike too close to try and get a bunch of bugs, but your buddy's out there in the middle of it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So, it looks like a lot of fun, and I don't know, we'll see. Maybe next week I'll be playing it. So who knows? But yeah, that's it. Those are our 2 major releases from this past week, and now it's time to talk about our news of the week. All right, our top story this week. Rumors have been running rampant. Started a couple of weeks ago. Rumors talking about Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves being released on possibly the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation consoles. So that was done, through, there was like data mining, and they saw listings places out there. No official word has been released about that. The Hi-Fi Rush one is pretty almost certain that it's going to happen, because people data mined and found like, branding within the Hi-Fi Rush, files. So that one, we'll probably see that one out. People are also talking about another larger title from Xbox, Starfield, or maybe Indiana Jones possibly being released on one of these, PlayStation, most likely PlayStation for both of those ones. I don't see Starfield or Indiana Jones coming on the Nintendo Switch. But this has been rumors that Xbox exclusivity is a thing of the past, and now these games are going to be featured on PlayStation consoles, Switch when possible. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, isn't it? Exclusivity for a certain period of time, I think, is a good thing. If they want to have their initial burst and get people to buy their console, because let's pretend Starfield was 100% awesome and everybody wanted it. You might go buy an Xbox for that. But even if not, then all the people who were complaining about Microsoft buying Bethesda no longer have to complain because you'll get your exclusive. Just have to wait a little bit.
Absolutely. And I think that's the best way to handle it. The speculation with Indiana Jones is that there will be a window of exclusivity, let's say like a year. If you're a huge fan of Indiana Jones, yeah, you're not gonna want to wait a year until it comes out over on PlayStation, so you could go and play it on the console that you have. You're gonna find a way to play it other places. I really do believe that that's the future, and also like, yeah, making it available everywhere is not. I don't think it's a bad thing. But what we're seeing though is there's always been, since Nintendo and Sega, tribalism within the video game world. There's all this competition: Nintendo versus Sega, PlayStation versus Xbox. The song is old as time, and it's going to continue that way. And Xbox fanboys are upset with the way things are going. So I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I've also seen people take this to the extreme of saying like, well, this marks the end for Xbox. They'll never make another console again. This means that Xbox will only be a service like Game Pass on PlayStation and Switch and PC. And I don't think that we're at that extreme yet.
No, and I do feel like that might be the future for Xbox. They've said before, like, they want to get their games out, like specifically Game Pass. They want Game Pass on everything that has a screen. They want it on your refrigerator. They're putting Game Pass everywhere. They wanted to put it on PlayStation consoles. They want to put it on, anywhere that they can put it. And how is that any different from now that they own Activision Blizzard and a bunch of other developers? And why stop there? They're already a third party publisher, basically, because Call of Duty, they said, is going to be on all the other systems. Diablo, they're not going to take that down. That game thrives from community. And then you're talking about Minecraft, which is and always will be available everywhere. So like, why stop there? Why does it have to, what are the rules that you can't have these games also showing up other places? Just to make the most money. You want to make the most money. And then as far as consoles go, they're already well in third place in the, by a huge margin behind PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch. Like they're still making consoles and there's people still buying them, but man, I think I just read like 2-1 PlayStation is leading Xbox in console sales. So, yeah, I do think that maybe this will be the last iteration of an Xbox, and now they just go, or they sell, like, I guess it depends on the cloud. If they can figure out the cloud, they're going to sell the little, they'll sell a stick that you plug into your television and it plays Game Pass. That's what they're going to sell. That's what I envision the future being,
And I think this is a much larger conversation, so we can keep it as brief as you want on this point. But what's the purpose of a console at this point? The purpose of a console used to be because it was thousands of dollars for a PC to develop these games, and you could put a home console out there for a couple $100. And that was the way going forward until, probably about the PS4 and Xbox One era, where your prices start to match as far as like entry to mid-level PCs and consoles. And your consoles at that point are just PCs running some Linux version, and everything's locked down. You can't upgrade anything. I guess the one use case I see for consoles is that it's supposed to keep things equal. So if you're going to go do the Call of Duty tournament, it's not a matter of how much tech can we cram into this PC to give me the best advantage. It's, I'm going to play it on a PlayStation 4. You're playing it on a PlayStation 4. We're equal. Yeah. But everything's kind of like just a PC with a lot of limitations on it. So I'm wondering if Xbox may go more the direction of like Alienware and be a PC manufacturer. And it'll still use some sort of like Steam Big Picture mode on PC, but it's Xbox branded.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely possible. I think there's always going to be a market for consoles for people like myself that I'm like um I don't know what I'm doing in the PC realm about building a PC or whatever. Um or people that are just like, yeah, they just want the ease of it. I know that if I plug this in and I pick this game, it's just going to work. If I buy a PlayStation game on a PlayStation, it's just going to work, or an Xbox game on an Xbox. For the most part, it's just going to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what the future holds. We will find out next week. I don't know, you know, when, but Phil Spencer, he did say, he put out a tweet saying, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." So I would expect that within a couple days, getting an idea of what this is. I do kind of feel like the internet has been blowing things out of proportion, and it's probably not going to be much. It's probably going to be like, hey, this game has a time exclusivity, and then it's going to go here. But people are saying that all their games are coming over to PlayStation, and it's like everybody's freaking out.
Yeah, there's also one other little detail in there: the potential rebranding of Game Pass to Microsoft Game Pass rather than Xbox Game Pass. Apparently, it's been seen in the wild a couple times. GameStop just did it, but somebody else did it a couple months ago. They referred to it as Microsoft Game Pass. And to be honest, I don't think it ever should have been Xbox Game Pass because I'm on PC. I don't need like the Xbox PC Game Pass Ultimate. It was clunky from the beginning.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it's confusing when it's like, okay, you could have Xbox Game Pass, PC Game Pass, and it's like, no, just call it Game Pass, and it will go from there. So, anything else?
Nah, that's probably it on that subject.
All right. Well, there is one more thing we need to talk about regarding this, and it's a new segment here at Gaming News Weekly. This is our top 5 of the week. I don't know if that's the title we're going with or working title. This is also the song that we're going to do. Top 5. It's a top 5. Top 5. And then there's going to be like a sick beat or whatever. So this week we're going to talk about, we put together a list of our top 5 games, Xbox exclusive games we would love to see make the transition over to PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. Now we did a blind ranking on this, so you don't even know what the end result was. Number 5, there was a tie between Palworld and Fusion Frenzy. Yeah, so, remember that game, 2001?
We talk about that a lot for some reason.
Right, dude, because it's an amazing game. It was like really like one of the first like party games that you play with your friends or whatever. Who wouldn't? Why don't they bring that out? Whip that out. Even make it a remaster or something. Right. Put that everywhere. Put it on iPhones, Androids. Why not? And then Palworld. Everybody knows Palworld. Number 4, Sunset Overdrive. This is a game that multiple times I almost bought an Xbox for because it's an Insomniac game. I love Insomniac. Everything they put out, I try to play, and this is one I still have not played to this day.
So. Yeah, same here, but I know it's big. I've always wanted to play it because it looks like the successor to Jet Set Radio Future.
Nice. Number 3, the Fable franchise is another one I've never had a chance to play, and I've always regretted. All my friends are like, "Dude, you never played Fable." Now, I have also heard from people that it doesn't withstand the test of time compared to like other games that have come out. But yeah, bring Fable. Put that out places.
For its time, like Fable 1 and 2, that was groundbreaking. What other game lets you like marry prostitutes and get STDs?
Right? Yeah, for its time. Number 2, another tie between Forza and the Gears of War franchises. Those are also games like, I don't want to go on the Game Pass in order to play Forza. I want that to be everywhere. Like, it's such an amazing racing game. You should just be able to like fire up any system and play that. It deserves to be, recognized everywhere. And Gears of War, I've never played ever. I know that's blasphemy for a video game person like myself. And then number one, what do you think number one is?
100% Halo.
Halo, absolutely. That was both of our picks, our number one picks. So that one got full points.
Right.
Halo, like that. I started playing the Master Chief Collection on PC not too long ago on my Steam Deck, and it runs great there. But that's another one that the whole franchise should be available,
Right.
everywhere for everybody to play.
Did you play? You played Halo Infinite, didn't you?
I did. I played it a lot.
So I played on Steam Deck as well.
Yep. No, I played that on Xbox through Game Pass when it came out for a long time. Like I was super into that. I was like obsessed. Yeah. And then it just they weren't updating it, and they haven't done much with it, so it's unfortunate.
Right. But maybe it could have been saved if they would have had the player base of PlayStation as well, doing some crossplay.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. All right. That is our top 5 list for this week. All right. Let's get back to the news. There's a lot of other big things we got to talk about. One of them being Disney has purchased a $1.5 billion stake in Epic Games. When you first saw this headline, what was your thought?
Well, I try to remember everything under Disney's umbrella these days and what exactly this means. And I don't know. We'll get into it.
Yeah. So they teamed up with Epic Games to develop a new, expansive, open, persistent, and social universe that will interoperate with Fortnite and let fans play, watch, shop, and engage with their favorite characters and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. So this was just announced at the most recent Disney earnings call. A lot of big announcements there. If you're a fan of Disney, there's a lot of cool stuff, this being one of the major ones. But they said it's a new experience built in Unreal Engine that will let players create their own stories and experiences, express their fandom in a distinctly Disney way, and share content with each other in ways that they love. I don't know what this means. Is this a new game they're gonna make, like kind of how like the Lego thing was? Or
that's kind of what I'm assuming. Or multiple games, maybe just a Disney branch of Fortnite.
Yeah, like are they just including it in like the more skins that you could get for your characters in like the Battle Royale? Is it going to
definitely looks like new worlds,
right? Yeah, right. Is there going to be an entirely Disney map for one of the seasons? Right. It's going to be like you go to like Star Wars area or like a Pixar area of the thing. I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely some crossover. There already has been though, right? Because they've had like Marvel deals and stuff like that.
A lot of different skins already out there. But let's see, Bob Iger, the CEO for Disney, put out a quote. It says, "Our exciting new relationship with Epic Games will bring together Disney's beloved brands and franchises with the hugely popular Fortnite in a transformational new games and entertainment universe. This marks Disney's biggest entry ever into the world of games and offers significant opportunities for growth and expansion. We can't wait for fans to experience the Disney stories and worlds they love in groundbreaking new ways." And then Tim Sweeney, CEO of Epic Games, said, "Disney was one of the first companies to believe in the potential of bringing their worlds together with ours in Fortnite, and they use Unreal Engine across their portfolio. Now we're collaborating on something entirely new to build a persistent, open, and interoperable ecosystem that will bring together the Disney and Fortnite communities." So I guess there it is. They something entirely new. But yeah, what that is going to be, I have no idea, and I'm excited, dude. Like that. Remember that you played that Disney Dreamlight Valley a bit, right?
Oh yeah,
like
a lot.
So that was a very well made game. Put Epic behind something similar to that. I don't know. It could be huge.
Yeah, you see the movie Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of like my idea of this metaverse that everybody talks about is sort of what exists in Ready Player One. The problem is that sort of thing can't exist the way copyright laws are right now. You can't just go build an Iron Giant and then go fight Sonic the Hedgehog with it and Godzilla. That's all just so dependent on licensing deals, and those things are going to expire. Now, the the way to get around that is to have somebody like Disney, which is an umbrella corporation, who plans on pulling Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Marvel, and of course all of Disney in there. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
problem with that is that you have all those things that are so much more mature, audience oriented, mature themes like guns. The thing is with Disney, I don't think it's in them to put that mature content next to their kid friendly content. You have to protect Elsa and Minnie Mouse.
Sure.
You can't throw your Marvel superheroes. You can't throw Deadpool in right beside them because they're putting those other characters in a compromising situation
That's a
that
great
Disney
point.
just they're not going to want to have it.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a good point. So it's got to have something that, like, yeah, you can encompass the whole thing or multiple things. Because yeah, what does a look like? What does a game look like that has Marvel characters? Yeah, with your Disney princesses. You know, I don't know what that game is. It's strange, but you
Yeah.
know, I mean, look
Well,
at Kingdom
I,
Hearts. Like they
yeah.
they did it. Something weird.
I don't know. I think the answer to that is that they tone everything down to the kiddie level.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll see. And Fortnite is great at doing that. You know, being right there for preteens, teens, you know, all the way up to adults. You know, sure, it's got guns, but it's not over violent or, you know, bloody or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
all right, next up, the most recent Game Pass announcement for February happened. Games coming soon. Well, let's see. Train Sim World 4 and Madden NFL 24 are both out right now. Resident Evil 3 comes out February 13th. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night comes out February 14th. A Little to the Left, February 15th. Played Up comes out February 15th. And then Return to Grace comes out February 20th. So, not a huge week. But I will always stand by A Little to the Left. It's such a simple game where you just organize things, and it's fun, and it's a brain teaser, and it's calming. It's a good game.
Figured you'd be into that since you liked unpacking
Yeah,
that style of game.
it's very similar to that, except more of a, you know, more of just a really strange kind of obtuse puzzle. And then Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a fantastic game. So
Have you played that one?
I played a little bit of it. I haven't finished it, but
I was watching some
on
gameplay of it.
PC.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of enticed by the style of like you're side scrolling, but it's the world moving around you in some of these cases.
Right. Yeah. It's a considered to be one of the best like Metroidvanias. So yeah, definitely a fantastic game. And then another subscription service, Humble Choice. The February version of that came out, and that includes for $11 you can get Life is Strange, True Colors, Scorn, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, Beacon Pines, There Is No Light Enhanced Edition, Children of Silent Town, Oaken, and Snowtopia Ski Resort Builder. Now, last week, when you asked me, and I said I'm not buying games, you're like, oh, does that go for Humble Choice too? And I said, I don't know, we'll see. I did not buy it this month. I said no. Nothing really, you know, blew me away out of that group.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Nothing's blowing me away, but there are so many of these games that share something about them that really stand out to me. The Beacon Pines, Children of Silent Town, and Oaken. They're very different games. I think Oaken's even like a board game of some type. Then Snowtopia for me is like that's the closest to a simulator game. Like you're sort of management, you're building that ski resort.
Yeah.
And then Scorn is another one. Like that was the big based on the artwork of like H.R. Geiger or something like that.
Yeah, it's real weird, real creepy.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'd enjoy playing that game. So it being part of a bundle like this where I know there are like 4 that I would really like, I may get it this month. Not sure yet.
Yeah. Yeah, the that Oaken is probably the one I'm most drawn to because that's like it's like a deck builder. But it's a little different. Kind of got some tabletop turn-based type things. So yeah, it's all right, but you know, nothing that was drawing me in. And also, if you like wait long enough, they'll send you like a coupon for like $3 off, and you get it for like $8. It's such a good value. All right, and last up, we got some news about the next Call of Duty series, and a much needed change to the game, I believe. So this came from Insider Gaming. They talk about how Call of Duty is going to have an open world campaign in the next Black Ops Gulf War game. And it's going to be built from the ground up instead of using, like, they have the open world missions on the current one, Modern Warfare 3, and those are just built from existing, previous stuff from within the game. This one is supposed to be from the ground up. It says the game's open world will see the player and their squad navigate the map more akin to that of Far Cry. Players will be able to utilize vehicles to get around, as well as using a fast travel system to get from one point to the next. Although the scope of how many linear missions there will be remains to be seen, sources confirm that some linear missions will be integrated into the game. So, being our resident Call of Duty experts, what are your thoughts on this?
Good and bad to this. Start with the bad, and then I'll circle back to the good. I see through this, I think. I think that this is a way for them to use the next version of the Warzone map over again. Just develop that one world, that one map, and then throw all of this into it. Now, the good thing is that sounds like a breath of fresh air, kinda, as long as it doesn't feel too samey. If there are people out there buying Call of Duty for the storyline and also like big into Warzone. But I've skipped most of the most recent campaigns in Call of Duty just because I'm more interested in doing the multiplayer. But this could be the change that kind of gets me into it. I'm not sure exactly what they mean where it's a mix. I'm hoping for, you drive to the location and you gear up and then the linear part happens. And it's more like a classic Call of Duty campaign mission where you're going through the high-rise tower, things are falling behind you. Sorry. There's no just exiting back out of this linear mission to the big world. But yeah, it could be cool. I think the Gulf War setting is going to be cool because you're talking like very early 90s, right at the turn of the decade there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's like I didn't know that Gulf War was the setting until I saw this article, and that surprised me and intrigued me. Yeah, it's definitely a cool idea. I think this is a good change because, everything's been getting a little stale within the game. Now, we'll see, what it means. It depends on how well they could really pull it off, But, yeah, well, I think anything new to kind of just reinvigorate the Call of Duty franchise is a good thing, especially after this most recent one where it's just been like, they threw together a game in a year.
Copy and pasted from the past game, yeah.
Yeah, so this one, the campaign is developed by Raven Software, and then the multiplayer and zombies is going to be done by Treyarch. So, we'll see what it ends up becoming. Still a ways out, but should be good.
I think we should place bets on what song they're going to use in the trailer, because ever since Battlefield 1 came out with that cool Seven Nation Army, but like done dark, Call of Duty's been doing it every year. I remember one of the last ones was like Metallica, Wherever I May Roam. So if this is Gulf War, it's set in 90, 91, somewhere in there. What's your bet on what's it going to be?
Oh, man. This is a good game. I remember they did I remember one with like Eminem in it. Let's see. We're talking 9. So you think the song should be from that era, maybe?
Yeah, but it'll be a remix, like darkened and with a bunch of boom.
Yeah, it's just going to be Kid Rock. Bah with the bah, the bang, the bang.
I hope so. That'd be perfect. It'd be better than you think, really.
But done by like some like female like indie like singer-songwriter. She's just like singing like a piano version.
With those bass drops from the Hans Zimmerman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My bet is I think it'll be Salt and Pepper Push It, but done dark.
I love it. I am in for that. Yeah, I can't wait. It sounds like a blast. I'm looking forward more to the commercial with the song than I am the actual game. I don't know how good that is, but all right, and that is it for us. You got anything else you want to chat about?
Nah, that's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. Be sure to go check out our YouTube. Pop Culture Playground is where you'll find this show and so much more. If you want to listen to the audio version, just type in GNW anywhere podcasts are found, and you're going to get this show right there. Bam, hit subscribe, get all the episodes. If you want to do a little more fun stuff, you can go over to fruitlab.com, check that out. It's a website where you can post content or watch content and earn like a cryptocurrency called a pip. Our show is on there every week, is also our singular separate channels. And then Full Clip is also on YouTube. GameFAQs, GameFAX. You can find him over there playing Skull and Bones.
A little bit.
Coming soon. And then definitely go make sure to check out, definitely be sure to check out our TikTok page. All the highlights of this show are there. All the discussion is in the comments section. It's all happening over at TikTok. Well, it's still operating before, they get shut down. And then, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Did I miss anything? You want anything
Nope.
you want to throw out there? Your plugs?
Not at all.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week with more Gaming News Weekly.